with multiple players announcing their intention to enter the portal once it opens in January. It's time to start our transfer portal tracker here on the Country Roads webcast. Let's talk about it. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast. We're providing you WVU sports content from Mountaineer fans for Mountaineer fans. Here today for our first of which will be many transfer portal updates throughout the 2026 season. This will be the first one that creates the 2026 transfer portal updates playlist, as we'll keep you up to date on every player that transfers out. And then when we get to January, every player that transfers in for West Virginia, as well as we have done over the past couple of years here on the channel. So if you haven't yet, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date on West Virginia's roster as it unfolds leading into the 2026 season. And you can also help us out really quickly just by taking your thumb, taking your mouse, hitting that little like button down above the video description. That really helps us hit the YouTube algorithm, helps us find more Mountaineer football fans like yourself. With all that said, let's lead this off with the dates you need to know. With the transfer portal coming up, when does it open? How long is it open for people to get into the portal? All of that we're going to discuss really quickly. Then we'll talk about the handful of names that have already announced their intention that will be leaving WVU football, including some really impactful ones. Okay, first thing I want to hit on, and Google, popped it right up, so this is, we'll pull it straight from Google. The new transfer portal window, which if you guys don't know, there's only one window now for football. You used to have the one pre-spring and one post-spring. It's eliminated. You only have the one in January now. So the portal actually opens January 2nd to January 16th. And you may be asking yourself, well, I've seen people saying they're entering. Yeah, people go ahead and announce their intentions. That way people will know that they're going to be in there. And then January 2nd when it opens, they can go ahead and commit wherever they want, be officially in there. They can get recruited, all of that good stuff. Now, the portal's open from the 2nd to the 16th. That's when people can enter the portal. But, of course, you can recruit people out of the portal all the way up, through the 2026 season if you'd like. So that's just when it opens for people to actually officially enter the portal with this new portal window, January 2nd to January 16th. As it says here, eliminated the spring window. Even though the official window starts January 2nd, teams are already preparing and having players make decisions and deals are being struck. So that way, once it's officially open, they can get these guys in as quick as possible. So those are the dates to know for the portal. What players from West Virginia have already announced their intentions? Let's talk about that. And rather than go in chronological order, the way these happen, we may as well lead it off with the elephant in the room because this is the most impactful loss for West Virginia thus far. And you guys know for me here at the CRW, personally, I've taken this one a little bit hard as well. You guys know he's one of my favorite players. Been my favorite player since he came in as a freshman. And, we kind of helped predict his success and talk about it after signing day, how we thought he would be a true freshman phenom. That turned out to be the case. Unfortunately, back-to-back knee surgeries for Jaheim White. We hadn't really got to see what he could be in the Rich Rod offense, which was something I was really excited about, and we may not ever get that opportunity. But with that being said, I do want to throw in this caveat here because I always do like to throw these in on these portal updates. Just because a guy enters the portal doesn't mean he can return to your team. Now, we haven't really seen that happen as much in the Rich Rod era here, in the 2.0 era yet, but it is possible. But what we do know is Jaheim White plans to enter the portal. Reported yesterday by CBS Sports. They're 247. White rushed for 845 and 7 TDs in 2024 and rushed for 3 TDs in the first 2 games of this year before, of course, going down with that knee injury in the game against Ohio, which changed our season. But what I will say is I wish Jaheim White the best no matter what. He's been really cool to me, and he's a really great guy, really great person, and he deserves success and deserves to come back from those knee surgeries and be successful. Wish it would be here at WVU, but wherever he goes, hope he finds success. But Jaheim White entering the portal, but he's not the only West Virginia running back doing so. We also have running back Dewar Hubbard announcing yesterday that he'll be entering the portal. Pete Nakos reported that one. This is from the On3 transfer portal page. He was the Mountaineers' leading rusher this past season. So West Virginia losing Jaheim White to the portal, losing Dewar Hubbard to the portal. But they do have plenty of talented running backs coming in that we talked about in signing day with Amari Latimer, with Sir Paul Cheeks, with Chris Talley on down the line there at the running back position. And plus, wouldn't be surprised to see West Virginia bring in some running back transfers as well. So Jaheim White, Dewar Hubbard on the way out. 2 guys that were, key cogs in that rushing attack this season. So definitely going to have a new look to it in 2026. But they weren't the only ones. We also had offensive lineman Jude Edwards. Didn't really see any playing time this year, but he transferred in from the junior college level. He'll be entering the transfer portal. As for another one, as he stated there on social media, he's grateful for his time at WVU, but ready for the next chapter. There's another one. Additionally, offensive lineman as well, Ethan Chill, has announced it being in his best interest. He's decided to enter the transfer portal as well. Kind of more the preferred walk-on type that West Virginia had brought in this past season. He'll be leaving and entering the portal as well. And then we had in-state receiver Tyshawn Dews announce that he'll be entering the portal, saying with it in his best interest as well. 4 years of eligibility left, and he has 8 minutes of film that you can watch there if you want to check out Tyshawn Dews. But he's entering the portal also. So those are the offensive guys. We'll flip it over and talk about some of the defensive guys that are entering. West Virginia linebacker Michael Hasty will enter the portal, 6'3", 226, 4 years of eligibility remaining. Of course, a recruit of the previous staff. Stuck around, but then will leave after this year. So Michael Hasty hits the portal. And then we get a couple of defensive backs here. Defensive back Caleb Gray, who came in from the JUCO ranks this past season, was listed as a safety for West Virginia. Didn't really see any playing time, but he will enter the portal also. And then on the defensive side, to wrap us up here with all the portal entries thus far, we have Zay Jennings, a nickel/corner at WVU, 6'1", 194. Really was kind of highly valued by the previous staff. Now, once Rich Rod and his staff came in, he didn't see as much playing time, was mainly used on special teams, but Zay Jennings will be entering the portal as well to round us out. So let me show you the complete list and give you our first look at our 2026 transfer portal tracker here on the CRW. So here is the list of transfers out as it stands currently. This list will become commonplace here with update videos moving forward. Like we said, as we approach the transfer window opening, we're going to have more guys announce their transfers out. And once that thing opens in January, we'll start our transfer in list here on this transfer portal tracker as well. Now, following this video, all the rest of the transfer portal updates I do, they'll be titled with the date in the title of the video. So, like today is December 9th, so this one won't have a date because it's the first one, but from there on they will, so that way you can go back through the playlist and kind of see the order of events, the order of the things happen. So say the next one I put out, let's say it's December 12th, so you'd see 12/12 WVU football transfer portal update is the title of the video, so on and so forth, leading into January and all the way throughout the spring and summer months leading up to the season. As long as we track this, as long as West Virginia is bringing people in, having people transfer out, which the transfers out should stop by January 16th at the latest, should be when we know all the transfers out. But the transfers in, that list could be something we continue to track all the way leading up to fall. I know last season we were adding people even in fall camp, and I was still doing transfer portal updates. So this process is beginning now, and it's going to lead us pretty much all the way into the 2026 season. So be sure you're subscribed here to stay up to date with these transfer portal updates as WVU has players leave and hopefully has some even more talented players coming in the near future as well. Excited to track these transfers. Love this time of year as West Virginia builds the roster for the next season. But that's just my opinion on it. I'd love to hear yours. Who are you most disappointed with from these transfers out? Do you think any of them return? Who would you like to see West Virginia target in the portal? Anything you got there. Always appreciate those interactions. If you drop them in the comments there, that really helps us grow the CRW community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.